it is time for Foodie Friday, and oh man, do we have a treat today. We have got deer burritos in the studio. We have got Brandon from Dave's Smokehouse with us. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing very well. Appreciate you coming in today. Appreciate you loading us up here.
Absolutely.
This spread looks absolutely gorgeous. Before we get into what we're eating today, let's talk a little bit about Dave's Smokehouse. How'd you get in the business in the first place?
So it's a family run business. It's me, my mom, my dad, and my little brother.
Mhm.
We started out processing deer meat behind our house probably about 14, 15 years ago, and it's kind of grown into a little specialty meat shop in Watson. We do everything from cracklings, boudin, hoghead cheese, and we started doing these deer burritos whenever we were processing deer, and it's kind of grown into something crazy. And we decided that we were gonna let everybody else try them. So we started wholesaling these burritos about 8 months ago, and it's just been uphill from there. So we're blessed. And
So I knew you had I've heard about the deer burritos. I've yet to have one yet. I knew you had them like on your menu. I didn't realize you're moving into where wholesale distribution. This is a whole new chapter here.
yeah, a whole new chapter of Dave's Smokehouse. So it's Dave's Wholesale,
Mhm.
and we have our two different types of burritos. They're going to be a cheddar cheese and a pepper jack cheese, and you can find them at gas stations. We have them at Rouse's all throughout Louisiana, High Neighbor, all over the place.
Very, very cool stuff. All right, when you're putting together a deer burrito, obviously there's a lot that goes into it that's more than just the deer. It's got to be a decent mix here. How long did it take y'all to get the right combos down, the right recipes down, the perfect mashup for what we now know and what everybody seems to be raving about?
Well, I mean, we started this behind our house. Like I said, we did it for customers, just doing deer processing.
Mm-hmm.
And believe it or not, my mom used to hand roll every one of them, and she kind of perfected the recipe. And now we're here. I mean, we just stuck with it for so many years. It's been 13 years the store's been open, and we haven't had any complaints. And everybody who tries them loves them.
Yeah, so I caught wind of this, I guess, a couple weeks ago, and was instantly intrigued. So I'm like counting it down till we can dive in here when we meet up with our break. Um, Dave's Smokehouse. Okay, started off with processing deer before moving over. How'd y'all make that transition? Like, what sparked the creativity to say, let's go in and start, cooking as well?
And my dad had a lot to do with it. He actually quit a job for he was working for 18 years, and we kind of just went in feet first, and as a whole family deal, took everybody, and it just been blessed ever since. And we keep growing every year, and that's why we decided to go ahead and do this little expansion, because we seen a market and seen that everybody loves them. Just got to keep going.
Let's broaden out to the whole menu here, and we'll get back into the deer burritos in a little bit. But lunch menu y'all got available. What's that look like? What can folks expect?
So Monday is going to be a half chicken. Tuesday we do our kind of signature steak bites.
Mm-hmm.
Sell out all the time. People love them. Tuesday, Wednesday is a pork chop. Thursday is going to be a barbecue or a fried rib, and then Friday we have a catfish plate with either French fries or a side of crawfish etouffee.
All right. Okay. Let's go back up to Monday here. And the pecan smoked half chicken. Let's talk about smoking the chicken here. This is, for Foodie Friday, of course, we're trying to up everybody's game. Walk us through your process. Walk us through, well, first of all, why pecan? I already know the answer, but why pecan? And walk us through how you make sure that chicken, keeps its juices, keeps its flavors, and makes the most out of how you smoke it.
Yeah, so we use pecan wood. We've always used pecan wood. Everything we do is pecan wood, and we use our rotisserie smokers, and they work great. We just stick them on there, and they come out perfect every time.
Time and temp?
About 45 minutes or so, and we cook them to our regulation temperatures.
The pecan into this. The simple question is why? Why go with pecan?
We just always have. We find it's a little easier to get.
The same is true for Wednesday as it is for Monday, because you got You got the pecan smoked half chicken on Monday. You got the pecan smoked pork chops on Wednesday. Right in between there, you got ribeye tips coming your way on Tuesday. Preparing ribeye tips.
So we take those ribeye tips. We actually take a whole ribeye that you would buy, from a grocery store or from us,
Mm-hmm.
and we take it and we cut it up into strips and we cook it on a char broiler. And so you're getting good grade A beef that is cooked on a char broiler, and it's not the scraps or anything like that. You're getting good food.
Got to appreciate that. Smoked ribs on Thursday. Smoking ribs, different than smoking a chicken for sure. Tell us a little bit about that process.
So we use our signature seasoning. It's a Dave's Smokehouse seasoning. We use it on everything. It's our family recipe, and we just throw them on our rotisserie smoker. We watch our temperatures and we take them off whenever they're nice, juicy, and tender.
We got Brandon in with us from Dave's Smokehouse. Going to dig in on some deer burritos here in just a little bit. Now, one of the problems with deer, and I mean, you know this all too well, is you do have to have that right mix with the pork to go along with it, or and I would imagine, especially putting it inside of a burrito, that would change things up a little bit. Talk to me a little about the mix. What kind of percentages are we looking at here?
It's our signature percentages. We try not to give out too much of our family secrets.
Fair enough.
But yeah, we got it figured out pretty good. They're full of meat, full of cheese. You're not gonna bite into it and take a bite and just have tortillas. You're gonna get a full bite of meat every time you eat.
Y'all, if you're not watching on Facebook and you're listening, you can clearly see it. I mean, these are gorgeous. By the way, quick little note over at daysmokehouse.com, they do have the cooking instructions for everything that they sell. And with the deer burritos, it says thaw frozen, bake on 350 for 7 minutes each side, or fry for 4 minutes. I love my air fryer. Are these good in the air fryer?
Yeah, so the inside of it is cooked all the way. You're basically just heating it up and cooking the tortilla how you want. We've done them. My dad actually loves to cook them on his pellet grill. We have a lady that owns a restaurant, and she actually cooks them and puts them over Mexican rice with a queso on top.
Ooh.
And they're fabulous that way. We make a deer burrito casserole at the smokehouse, so that you can cook them any way you want.
Got Brandon from Dave's Smokehouse with us. Dave's Smokehouse and Specialty Meats. You'll find them on Highway 16. You said Watson. I guess the address is technically Denham, but
Yeah.
y'all, I mean, if you know, you know. If you're out that way, 35770 Highway 16 up in Watson. Looking at the whole menu here, and I know y'all, when you're going through the website, the background pictures of the cracklins, the background pictures of the boudin balls, all gorgeous. Let's talk about that for just a quick second. That is a market where we're competitive and we're picky, and to put your boudin up against anybody else, give us the background there. I mean, wanting to dive into that. Look, if you're starting off just processing deer, like going to boudin, you know you're taking on some pretty heavy hitters there.
Yeah, so our recipe actually comes from my dad's dad. He is since passed on. Mr. Wallace was his name, and all of our recipes come from him. All of our mixtures come from him. He's been doing it for years. He cooked all of his life, made boudin all his life, made hoghead cheese all his life, and we owe a lot of what we have now to all of his recipes and stuff like that. And we just come from a family of cooks. My great uncle is Chef Paul Prudhomme.
No kidding.
Yeah, my mom
Wow.
actually cooked under him for several years out of his place in New Orleans. So we got it in our blood. It's hard not to have it.
Very, very nice. We got Brandon in from Dave's Smokehouse and Specialty Meats. The another thing that I noticed on the website is it's not just a lunch counter here. You're going and buying packaged stuff as well. What are some of the hotter items that y'all can't keep in house?
I would say we sell a lot of our stuffed chickens. We sell a lot of our fresh and smoked sausages. We got a massive freezer section. We cook everything from paunce to sausage. And if you don't know what paunce is, it's stuffed pig stomach. We do we do rabbits, everything. So we're a full stop specialty meats.
Very, very awesome stuff. And the processing into this is still very much a thriving business for y'all.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um, by the way, it's not just the prepackaged meats, and it's not just the lunch counter as well. Party trays are available. As look, it's graduation weekend. Graduation at LSU today. We got a bunch of high schools to be graduating very soon. So if you're looking to handle your entertainment in house, if you're bringing everybody back to the house after graduation, maybe hit up daysmokehouse.com or just go visit them over in Watson. Pick yourself up a crawfish pie platter, a boudin ball platter, you name it, they've got you covered on that end. All right. We've got about a minute till break. Within that minute, tell me what I should expect. Tell me what I'm looking for when I bite into the burrito here.
So they're fried. Today we got them fried. They're going to be crispy. You'll notice that they're not fatty. You're not going to have juices running all down your face or anything like that, which not saying that's not a bad thing, but if you're trying to eat something on the go, you don't want to have that all over your lap or anything like that. They're high in protein. Our cheese mixture, they're you get a bite of cheese, you get a bite of meat in every one of them. They're not your typical gas station burrito, you know.
I would imagine when you're going deer, you already know you're putting that effort forth. You're going to what's the word I'm looking for? It's being given the attention it deserves. You're not going to make deer on the front end to have a subpar product on the back end. Absolute perfection coming in from Days Smokehouse. We're having deer burritos on this Foodie Friday. Okay, Brandon, let's give the breakdown here. I started with the cheddar one. There is way too often. Okay, let's start with the meat. Way too often when it comes to processing deer, you do have to mix it down with a little bit of pork, so you're not eating something that's too dry. But at the same time, though, you don't want to lose the health benefits. You don't want to lose the value of having protein without fat. Blah blah blah. Y'all have this down to a dadgum science. That blend of the deer and the pork together could not be better. There's moisture throughout. There's no lack of seasoning, and at the same time, you're not over seasoning. It's a pop in your, the home recipe. Seasoning blend is just the right amount of heat on the cheddar end. Now, I moved over from there to the pepper jack, and it's a different kind of heat because you got two different. You got jalapeno within the pepper jack, which is a completely different flavor than you're getting from the deer and the pork with the seasoning on that end. This is a absolute perfection. That's so good. Back this up to the fact that it is a burrito and it is fried. This has been an air fried, right? Like fried in oil.
Yeah,
right?
This is deep fried in oil.
Mm-hmm.
So, and
way too often when you deep fry a burrito, you can get too crispy on the outside and just inconsistent on the inside. There is consistency throughout. And by the way, every bite is chock full of the meat as well. This isn't like one of those burritos where one bite is 90% tortilla and the next bite is all meat. No, y'all are consistent throughout.
Yeah, we strive to, as one of my biggest things is whenever we did this, we wanted, whenever you eat it, you eat 2 or 3 of them and you're full, it's a meal. A lot of people, they'll eat one of them and they're full. So we strive ourselves on quality and consistency and making people happy, because ultimately if all your customers are happy, they're going to keep you happy. So
absolutely. And you were mentioning something during the break there. I don't know if we're going to talk about this too much, but one of the great things about a burrito is you can eat it on the go.
Yeah.
I mean, how often are we just strapped for time or whatever? This, heat it up, take it with you. And it travels for sure. 1 minute left. Give us the address, give us the location, give us the website one more time so folks know where to find y'all.
So we're on LA 16 in Denham Springs, Watson area. We're right by the new Live Oak High School. I don't know the address right off the top of my head. I'm sorry about that.
No. It's because I have the website open here, so I'm here to help out on that front. It is that. Let me get back to the home page. See, I killed off the home page to go over to the menu. Dadgummit, Brian. I did this. This is totally my fault. Like you said, it's Highway 16 in Watson, 35770 Highway 16, right there by Live Oak. It's not just about the deer burritos, although these are beyond phenomenal. Check out their full menu, their catering menu, their in-house menu, their lunch menu. He is Brandon from Dave's Smokehouse. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Thank y'all for having me.